When it comes to your online privacy, just how respectful are Google? Are the rumours of CIA involvement true? And what kind of diversion tactics are they using to throw us off the scent? Welcome to RINF News, I'm Mick Meaney, and in this report we'll take a closer look at what's going on behind the scenes with Google and their apparent total disregard for your privacy. While most in the mainstream media and alternative media will focus on Google glasses, which are invasive and a genuine cause for concern, today we're going to look at some of the statements the company has made. We're going to take a look through the recent track record of privacy abuses. Even this week, Google's executive chairman Eric Schmidt and Jared Cohen of Google Ideas bizarrely made hypocritical statements at the company's Big Tent event about the increasing need to protect our privacy, while conveniently ignoring the fact that they actively profit from destroying it. Consider then the audacity of Eric Schmidt's statement that we have to fight for our privacy or we're going to lose it, because it's so easy to lose. Yes, Schmidt, you're right, because you're part of a small cabal that's invested heavily in taking it away from us. The duo also attempted to blame the younger generation for the dramatic loss of privacy, despite research that continues to prove them wrong. Bilderberg Group regular Eric Schmidt said, "As you age, more and more of your digital identity is determined by others, and that record is something new generations will live with for the rest of their lives." His sidekick Cohen interjected, "Kids are coming online and saying things that will follow them around for the rest of their lives." Schmidt continued, "Each of you completely expects Google to maintain the integrity of data you share with us. It will be a huge problem if data was leaked or inappropriately given to governments." I'll leave the obvious hypocrisy to one side for a moment and point out that the latest research figures demonstrate that children and teenagers are concerned about their privacy and actively take steps to protect it. A joint research by the Pew Research Center and the Berkman Center for Internet Society has shown that teenagers take a variety of technical and non-technical steps to manage the privacy of information, with only 8% believing that setting privacy controls is somewhat difficult. But Schmidt, who once said, "We know where you are, we know where you've been, we can more or less know what you're thinking about," chose to ignore this at the Big Tent event. Google's privacy issues and lawsuits are well documented, but less reported, however, are the company's ties to the NSA and its connections to the CIA. Now, as recently as 1 month ago, leaked emails from Stratfor revealed that Google is getting White House and State Department support and air cover. In reality, they are doing things the CIA cannot do. The US government can then disavow knowledge, and Google is left holding the bag. Press TV reported that among the Stratfor emails that WikiLeaks received were some exposing Google as not just an intelligence contractor for the CIA and Department of Defense, but foreign governments as well. Text within the highly sensitive cables outlines criminal and even terrorist activities on the part of Google, including the planning of insurgency operations. Google has helped plan military operations against Syria and has been directly involved working with Arab states and Turkey to plan destabilization of Iran. In 2010, Wired reported about the development of technology that scours tens and thousands of websites, blogs and Twitter accounts to find the relationships between people, organizations, actions and incidents now both present and still to come. The technology created by Recorded Future, a company that both Google and the CIA have invested in, goes beyond search by looking at the invisible links between documents that talk about the same or related entities and events. And speaking of real-time monitoring, in 2008, a disturbing video produced by consumer watchdog demonstrated how Google's web browser, Chrome, actually records what a web user types into the web address field, and then shockingly sends that information back to Google. Well, if that sounds like a step too far, well, watch this video and make up your own mind.
After I type a few letters of my search, but before I click the Google search button, Google proactively looks up my search based on the first few letters. This is a very convenient feature, but it raises a concern too. From the moment I type those first few letters, Google is already tracking, uploading, and storing my keystrokes. Let's see how it works. What you're looking at here is the Google homepage in the new Chrome browser. However, this issue is not specific to Chrome, as the feature works on all browsers the same way. And on the lower part of the screen, you're looking at a tool used by computer network professionals called the packet sniffer. We will use this packet sniffer to see what information Chrome is sending back to Google and when. Google has changed the typical request-response pattern of the web with a little piece of JavaScript code that says every time the user types a letter, send it to me. In this case, I'm going to type the first few letters of the word marijuana. Watch what happens over the network. As you can see, each letter gets sent to Google until it can tell I probably want the word marijuana. Now, I'm a fairly private person, so before I click the submit button, I think to myself, hey, looking around the internet for illegal drugs from my home computer is probably not too smart. So I never click the Google search button and click the backspace button a bunch of times. The problem is it's too late. Google already has the information. I didn't know this was happening. I didn't intend to give this information. I didn't click anything. It could be worse. What if I type something more serious, like this? And it's not just Google that can see this information. Anyone with a packet sniffer between me and Google can see that I type this. This means that if I'm surfing the internet from work, my company can see this. If I'm surfing from a wireless connection at Starbucks, Starbucks can see this. My ISP can see it. And if my government is watching, not just me specifically, but any part of the internet between me and Google, they can see it too. To make matters worse, Google has stored this information on their computers. So if someone with a warrant demands this information, they can see this information as well.
In 2007, the rights group Privacy International rated Google as hostile to privacy, its lowest rating in their report. Even last week, when questioned about Google's privacy track record, Schmidt attempted to defend the company. We try to be as transparent as possible. We publicly state these are the things that we can do with your data. From our perspective, we disclosed what we were doing. Now we're criticized for not disclosing what we're doing. If we were to violate your privacy, that would be material. We would lose you. Independent of whether you like us, we have a clear business perspective to protect your privacy, because if we don't, we'll lose you. Governments will write laws that restrict this, will suffer penalties and get sued to death, because we get sued for everything. No, Schmidt, you have violated our privacy repeatedly, and you frequently get sued because your company has a complete and total disregard for our privacy, violating laws in horrendously unethical ways. You've intentionally developed systems that are designed to strip away our basic human right to privacy. But I suppose, what else can we expect from a man who once said, if you have something that you don't want anyone to know, maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Well, that's it from me for today. To stay up to date with all the news that you're not supposed to know, visit rinf.com and subscribe to the free newsletter. Thank you for watching. I'm Mick Meany, signing off for RINF Alternative News.